champions with us. But we wish her the best of luck. Let's go, AO.
Meghan Dizon will be our first server. Games to 11, side out scoring, win by 2. Lacy Schneemann strikes first, tries to attack out of the air, and no luck there. Goes into the middle of the net. First point on the board for New Jersey.
Yeah, this point already gave you a good scouting report on some of the players. We'll go over it in a second.
Oh, what a dink from Dizon. Samantha Parker somehow gets a hold of it. What a point.
Absolutely. Yeah, the fives, they have really sharp dinks, a lot of pace on them. And that was a good example of Meghan dinking aggressively cross-court.
Let's go. Second, third.
Lacy Schneemann is a powerful force behind her paddle.
0-1-2.
There we go.
Spot for Dizon, low to the backhand side of Schneemann. Quick hold for the fives. Back to work.
1-0-1.
What a move. Dizon keeps it compact, sets up Waters to close in the middle with the forehand.
That's a pretty cool point. I think the fives hit 5 shots and the ball did not bounce once except before the third shot in that point.
This counter from Lacy Schneemann goes the other way on Dizon.
But that's something the fives are looking to do, play as many points as they can without letting the ball bounce. That's going to be the key stat, in my opinion.
For the fives?
Yes.
Attack from Schneemann gets the ball back. A ton of damage done. Wind still a factor here on Torrey Championship Court.
Second, third.
Cross court, Samantha Parker couldn't dodge it. Gets jagged on the way.
0-2-2.
In the middle between Dizon and Waters. Miscommunication, and Orlando hits the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think that's the play. I'd like the squeeze to do maybe a little bit more. Lacy slicing hard behind Anna Leigh, and then forcing Anna Leigh speed up from there. Samantha being ready for the counter. I think they could have some good success on that play.
2-1-1.
It goes, Samantha Parker commanding the right side of the court.
But yeah, that was exactly an example of that. Lacy goes hard dink to Anna Leigh. Anna Leigh speeds up. Samantha's hands are on top of it.
Holly Waters is there. Schneemann goes the other way. The left throws in the lob. The wind is pulling it towards the right side of the court. It's a nice sequence there for Meghan Dizon.
Yeah, great point on behalf of all 4 players. Some good defense.
That's a good point.
Federico seems very happy as well. Some motivational words from the bench.
Staksrud, the leader of the Orlando Squeeze, for their first win of the tournament. Lacy Schneemann shakes her head, and Anna Leigh Waters in a lengthy stare down as the ball goes back to the squeeze. Take another look. Drives it high to the forehand, and Dizon sends it back to the lethal forehand of Lacy Schneemann. It buries it. Earns the pop-up chance. Another wicked backhand from Waters. Sets up Dizon on the close. Second serve for the squeeze.
Seems like Lacy is really trying to avoid Annalie on the reset, trying to reset that ball down the line. I think maybe again using cross-court, it's also one of her favorite shots, and she executes it really well. It's going to give her more margin. And a shake and bake by Sam Parker.
Love it, Samantha Parker.
Her parents are here. I talked to them yesterday. They're super stoked. It's their first time watching them compete, watching her compete in a professional pickleball event.
Pretty awesome to hear the news. Your daughter's playing at the premier level and the professional scene. Samantha Parker did make it to a deep run in Houston a couple of years ago. Women's singles made it to the final, her first career PPA final. MLP is a huge opportunity for players like Samantha Parker to get that exposure, play with people that you might not ever had a chance to play with before. Speak to that.
Oh, absolutely.
Waters back to serve at 4-2-1.
There we go.
One drifted away from Lacy Schneemann. Get a top spin on that third shot drop from Waters.
We also have the PPA Challenger Series. That's another opportunity for up-and-coming players to test their skills and get some points.
It's high. Schneemann's on it. Zahn gets caught in the transition area. Swing for Schneemann, 5-2-2 for the New Jersey Fives. Skip off the tape. Dizon will accept the break at the end change. At 6-2-2. And the squeeze do have several matches in hand compared to the rest of the fields. See how that equalizes after this event concludes. Aggressive dink from Lacy and Meghan Dizon. It's a huge angle on it. Take another look at this. Reversing the flow. Everybody was moving to the left, and Dizon spotted that.
That's a top spin to make Rafa Nadal jealous.
It's up, it's good. What a shot from Dizon. Drop volley. Oof, two players in orange crashing towards the dropper, and it works. 8-2-2 now for New Jersey.
Yeah, Meghan showing a nice variety on the forehand side. We had a fast-paced topspin dink. She had inside-out, misdirect, and a topspin lob. Those were her 3 shots almost back-to-back. That was pretty sweet.
An end to the run. Jersey feeling pretty good about themselves at this point. Boom, what an attack from Samantha Parker. Keeps it compact out in front, goes straight ahead on Waters. Expect that.
3-8-1.
The net has been on the 5 side. This is probably their 3rd lead court, but also shout out kind of to Lacy here on the 5th shot. She does execute that nice backhand slide behind Annalie, just a little bit unlucky on the lead court.
Let's try here for the squeeze. Ooh. It's deep for Waters. Appreciate the ambition. By the way, was watching the New Jersey Fives warm up ahead of this match indoors, and Waters did something like that. Down the line on Zane Navratil, burned him. Kept him humble. Ball was in that time, though, and indoors anyway. Whole indoor crowd erupted.
Ooh, looks just a little bit out. The Fives are not sure. They might challenge.
Waters throws
Side
it
out.
down inside out. Squeeze. Run will end there. Dizon loads up at 8-5-1.
8-5-1. Point.
Nice shot from Leigh Waters.
Yeah, that was a textbook forehand roll
9-5-1.
in the right spot. Squeeze on the switch. There it is again.
Oh! Dizon keeps it alive. What a scramble from Waters. Goes straight back to the same spot, trying to exploit Orlando unwinding the stack. That drop to the backhand is an effective shot.
That was pretty elite.
Yeah,
10-5-1.
8 points for the Vibes.
Point
Again,
game.
it lands
11-5
in, and Leigh Waters stumps the squeeze.
Third shots and just being creative with his attacks and being kind of selective with his attacks. Because Will in front of him has pretty good hands.
Nice counter early from Federico Staksrud.
We might see Federico be a little bit more aggressive going towards Zane because he probably has an edge in hand speed in that matchup. So we'll see.
Howells takes advantage for D1 tennis product out of the University of Notre Dame. I'll resonate with our tennis channel audience. Top 20 recruit nationally. And feels so confident about his game. He's very open about that.
Yeah, fantastic player.
Nice spot for Federico Staksrud. Soft step to the backhand of Will Howells, who loads up to serve. Will Howells, of course, part of the New Jersey Fives team that won the mid-season event last year. Nice drive and crash from Howells. They're on the board. Zane Navratil, a 4-time Major League Pickleball champion. Won a couple of those with you, Irina.
Absolutely. He's got 4. He's getting close. But yeah, I think from Will, we mentioned his hand speed, and then we're gonna see some good firepower, both from forehand and backhand, two-handed backhand there.
Oh, what a save from Frazier. Couldn't follow it up. Goes into the net. Staksrud swung and missed, and Frazier was still there in recovery for insurance.
Yes, Dylan was totally there, just kind of took his head a little bit off the ball on the second counter, but that was pretty sweet coverage.
Oh, what a find. Will Howells goes big through the middle. Unbelievable attack off the bounce. That's something he learned from Leigh Waters last year, playing alongside her in mixed. And beautiful setup by Zane Navratil too. But attacking off the bounce was something that he learned a lot from Waters. How she did it, when she did it, where she put it.
Very smart, good idea. That's kind of how my learning process happens in pickleball as well. I see one of my friends do something cool and amazing, and then I talk to them a little bit about it, and then try to add it to my game and execute in competition.
Efficient hold for the Orlando Squeeze. We'll replay that. Dylan Frazier, still a part-time student, University of Missouri. It's good. Second serve now for the Squeeze.
Good hands, Zane, good hands.
0-1-2.
Will Howells attacking Staksrud out of position on the right, side out, empty trip for the squeeze.
Yeah, it looked like Federico was committed to taking that ball, so he had to proceed with it. But as you mentioned, a little bit out of position. Squeeze switched, but couldn't regain.
Wow, another low attack from Zane Navratil. He just knifes that thing over the net. Oh.
Good anticipation, a little bit of element of surprise. Goes crossbody at Dillon, but I think it was worth it, especially based on score.
Cue the fives chance. And Zane Navratil executing to perfection right now. Many say he is the best captain of Major League Pickleball. The other half of that group saying Anna Bright is. And either way you look at it, two great contenders and great teammates. Marina, you can speak to that as well.
100% agreed. Zane loves being captain. He loves reading the rules, booking courts, strategizing, and supporting his teammates.
3-0-2.
Dylan Frazier goes big cross court for the final side out. Now, how do the squeeze get on the board here? What must they do?
I think Federico needs to continue to look for opportunities to attack, and hopefully Dylan can get a few of surprise attacks back, and then they're back in action.
Second serve. 0-3-2.
Goodness.
Paddle tap.
In the kitchen, Dylan Frazier was called a paddle tap violation as a kitchen violation. Can't touch any part of your body or your paddle into that dark blue area.
Yeah, we
Take the ball out of the air.
Yeah, we saw a super aggressive dink by Zane. He kind of faked that he was going line and then went behind Dylan. Rightfully so, Dylan was trying to take that ball out of the air, but lost his balance a little bit and the paddle touched in the kitchen. Hence the violation.
Just out of reach for Staksrud, and New Jersey climbs out to a 4-0 lead. A blank Orlando ahead of the end change. See if they can manage. Will Howells down the line twice, opens up the cross-court winner, 5-0 New Jersey.
Well played. Yeah, it looks like Squeeze getting outplayed just a little bit in the attacks right now, but they're going to keep fighting.
Staksrud blasts one to the baseline on Navratil for the side out, looking to hit the scoreboard for the first time. Take another peek. That lob was going nowhere for Will Howells.
0-5-1.
There they go. Orlando finds the board. Federico Staksrud imposing his will on game number 2.
Forehand topspin hook into Zane's right hip.
just wide of the sideline.
Second serve.
Federico using his single skills on that third shot. Going behind Will on the switch, knowing that Will is kind of covering the middle, but misses his wide just a little bit.
Zane Navratil sitting on the forehand, well aware of where that ball was headed. 5-1-1, New Jersey, 1 point away from the end change.
5-1-1. Second serve.
Hitting into the wind from that corner of the court was Will Howells. The third shot drops into the net too. 5-1-2, Navratil loads up. What a counter. Will Howells strikes one through the middle and takes hold of a 6-1 advantage as both teams courts down. I'm sure the venue was prepared for the outdoor scene. It's been epic. We'll see where the squeeze go from here. Yikes. That's not the remedy as New Jersey jumps ahead 7-1.
7-1-2.
Will Howell sneaks another one through the middle, and it is a whole lot of confidence on the side of the fives now.
8-1-2.
There it is for Federico Staksrud.
One of his signature shots. Anticipates the dink toward the middle and then reaches in with a topspin forehand.
Wow, such aggression at the line for Will Howells, and these two have both been just putting the pressure on.
Right here, come on, get there.
Unrelenting. Let's try for the squeeze to close the gap.
Yep, on your landing.
Ooh, footfall called on Will Howells. An ambitious Ernie attempt. Squeeze will take another.
I called it as well. It was
Off
on your
of the
landing.
odd, and Onisha Smith clarifying that both referees saw the foot fault.
Come on, one stop.
But Will is very dangerous
2-8-2.
Yeah, he is.
on that Ernie. He can Ernie cross-court balls. He can Ernie off a down-the-line ball.
Side out.
Pretty much takes that whole area out of the equation for their opponents.
Give me one right here.
Hold it here. Let's go.
8-2-1. Point.
Too much Will Howells at the line. Throws his hands up. Saying, you don't want more of this. He's got swag.
9-2-1.
Fives are feeling confident, controlled, aggression.
Second serve.
2-2, 2 points away from a 2-game
9-2.
advantage. This match to 4. What a get from Fed. Oh my, a miraculous reset for the fives. There's no looking back now. Game point, take another look. Exceptional counter on the ATP, full scramble. Will's got it, no he doesn't, Zane's got it, reset.
Yeah, perfect reset by Zane, moving back, inside out backhand slice after the ATP.
10-2-2.
Ooh, Ernie lob, fascinating. And it's good. Drop volley, Frazier's there. Howells exploits the middle. Fed overcooks it long, and the New Jersey Fives take game 2. 11-2. Your final thoughts on Will Howells and Zane Navratil? Correct. We head to mixed doubles now. First of 2 games. New Jersey could clinch a regulation win here. They sent out their ace against Schneemann and Fed. Squeeze ace. And what a play by Will Howells. So curious, Leigh said it was about the confidence of the players going into this matchup, but I would think you would save Annalee and Will for last in this situation. Maybe create a mismatch there. What do you think after this point, Arena?
Point.
Yeah, I think it's sometimes how people decide these matchups depends on how players are feeling on that specific day. Maybe somebody doesn't want to play back-to-back matches, and they're going to let their teammates know in advance. So that could be some of the rationale behind the positioning, but sometimes teams just try to go for a 3-0 shutout, so that could be another reason why Annalee is doing that. We used to do that on the med drops. Put Catherine and Julian in, win 3-0.
Oh, Will Howells. That carryover effect is real. Men's doubles. A great outing there. Leigh alluded to it too. He and Zane have not had a lot of time to train together, so refamiliarizing themselves with each other. Oh, nice pressure there from Schneemann and Fed. A quick 4-0 lead for the Fives. Orlando looking for answers. I think it'd be fun to see Waters play the left with Zane Navratil at some point in mixed doubles, like Mari Humberg did last year with Zane. Love to see that combination.
I think if we send in a request, they will probably grant it.
I think so. Chat with Ryan Harwood after this. Ooh. Inside out counter attempt from the transition area, and difficult ball to hit. Federico Staksrud knows that and hits the scoreboard first for Orlando.
Federico really likes to play fast, but Fives are taking a little bit of their time. Wow, that was a grown man dink by Federico Staksrud, two-handed backhand topspin. But that's a conversation that's in tennis as well. They have a shot clock between points, but you're still supposed to play at the pace of the server.
Wow, Waters pulls it down the line, and the backhand of Staksrud off the bounce to another iconic shot. The world's best female to ever play the game. Another attack off the bounce. Reset. Waters attacks again. Making 4 attacks, and that's the charm for Waters. Goes through the middle, mixes up her spot every single time.
Federico was ready this time, so it took Annalee 4 or 5 shots to get the job done, and that's what happens against the top players in the world. It's a little bit more difficult to win with 1 shot. You have to be ready for combos.
Ooh. Agile move from Federico Staksrud, and a 6-2 lead. On the run, and the New Jersey Fives chose this matchup. Felt most confident with their ace against the Squeezes ace. Wow. And Waters can do such damage out of the air.
So far, I think she's been pretty successful with head-to-head battles with Federico. We'll see what kind of adjustments Federico can make.
Point. Eight, 2-1.
Nice explosive movement for Federico Staksrud. 1 hole down, 1 to go.
8-2-2.
Wow, Will Howells acrobatic at once for another point.
After
Here's
review the
Anisha.
results of the rally stands, there was no foot fault.
I love when she says
you
it with
lose one free
sass.
video challenge, you have 2 remaining. New Jersey 5s, you have 2 free video challenges remaining as well. We resume play at 9-2-2.
Tennis, but a little bit more difficult to execute because the net extends wider.
Oh, what a get from Fed. HEP
Point.
buried it the other way, did Will Howells. Wow, heat check. Look at the speed, the foot speed of Howell. Scrambles from the baseline and beyond to capture the ATP. And this kid is fueled by confidence. I would say an 11-2 finish in men's doubles, potentially here in mixed too, would continue to fuel that. Lacy Schneemann has had enough. Gets the side out there.
Yeah, Lacy letting some steam out in that hands battle
2-10-1.
against Will. Or Willie, as Anna-Leigh calls him.
Point.
They're a fun duo to watch, that's for sure.
And the best part is Anna-Leigh's the mentor there.
Yeah, she is.
Here we go. No freebies. Let's go. Come on.
3-10-1. Second serve.
Acrobatics by Will here
Yeah.
to
3-10-2.
defend that speed up.
Side out.
Right back to it, and New Jersey 5s. Orlando will settle for a point, puts them on an odd, which means they have to try and unwind the stack.
10-3-1.
Lacy Schneemann signaling to stay for Staksrud. Stay on the right. That one's deep.
Second serve.
A little too confident for Willie.
Here we go, 5. Right here. Go, Leigh.
10-3-2.
That's
Point
wide,
eight,
and New
11-3 New
Jersey
Jersey 5.
runs away with game 3, 11-3.
To bowl, but still just getting some more reps on the court as a team together in competition is pretty awesome.
Oh, Zane Navratil, what side of the paddle did he hit it on? What a setup by Dizon on the attack straight ahead.
We call that a tomahawk, originally
1-0-2.
pioneered by Jeff Warnick. Extreme Western grip. If you hold your paddle like this, it's very easy to hit. A shot gives you additional angle.
Side out.
And I wonder if, because of the match tonight, Irina, that's why New
0-1-1.
Jersey went with these matchups as opposed to taking the quote-unquote easy way out. Nice. Zane Navratil is on it because they know with J.W. Johnson and Georgia Johnson coming up in the Dallas Flash.
0-1-2.
Giga and Tyra Black, that's a tall task ahead in mixed doubles. 1A and a 1B situation.
It's going to be a good interview question to ask them post-match.
Good job, Megan. Good job, Zane.
1-0-1.
Ooh, Zane Navratil goes around the back in his attempt to counter it. Meghan Dizon covers her mouth in apology. Samantha Parker was
1-0-2.
well on the backhand counter the other way. Beautiful shot from her.
Point.
Okay.
Yeah, that backhand counter is one of Samantha's signature shots. She can do it off the bounce, and she
2-0-2.
can do it out of the air.
Side out.
Serve goes deep, a little bit of the wind factor. I think Dylan has to be, because of the wind blowing,
0-2-1.
a little bit more towards Samantha. Dylan has to be careful how far he goes on the third shot if the ball is getting blown away.
0-2-2.
Nice exchange from Meghan Dizon in the cross-court dink battle against Parker.
Meghan again showing some variety. This time she was using slice dinks to create pace.
Well played by Dylan Frazier. So what's in it for Orlando at this point? You're down a couple of matches. They've lost
2-0-2.
all the matches they played here so far, which many expected to see that. You're down 3-0 in this game. What do you play for?
Well, I think number one, personal pride. And I think also, again, developing as a team. I think Samantha, for sure, she is a little bit behind on experience. So every point is pretty valuable to her.
Nice attack from Parker.
Zero, 3-1.
Ooh, surprise, Dylan Frazier has arrived.
Point.
Nice patience there, waiting for the right shot, and fun little combo.
1-3-1. Point.
Meghan popped up a couple of dinks. Zane is feeling the effect of that, but I don't think he's intimidated just yet.
Second serve.
Another look. Another setup that time for Meghan Dizon, keeping Samantha Parker backed up to the transition area. Second serve now. Frazier looking to tie it up at 3.
There we go. There we go.
Side out.
Come on, Will. Come on, Zane.
3-2-1.
And Frazier coming to life once again.
Yeah, maybe that's something Orlando can do, can try to be a little bit more aggressive. The report is to maybe slow it down against Meghan and make her dink, but she's dinking really well right now, so might as well try to create some chaos and see how she responds to a few of the attacks.
Well, it's working for now. Samantha Parker brings the side out. There's the power that Leigh Waters referenced from Meghan Dizon. Second serve for the squeeze, second try to tie things up.
2-3-2. Side out.
I agree with Leigh. Meghan has easy power on both forehand and backhand wings.
3-2-1.
Dizon looking to regroup. Well played shot from Parker. On 3, we'll see if New Jersey can get off it here. Parker
Side out.
gives it a grin. Down the line and a little miss hit, doesn't matter. Count it. New Jersey stuck on 3. Orlando 2 tries to tie it.
2-3-1.
Ooh, nice creation from Dizon. What a play.
Second serve.
Down the line on Frazier. Invited Zane Navratil to get involved in the middle.
2-3-2.
That was a little risky. The ball basically landed on the line and was over the net by half an inch, but it worked.
Oh,
Side out.
Court dink battle with Meghan. She doesn't need to come back to the middle as much and just stay a little bit more to the right and wait for the ball to come to her.
yeah, Leigh Waters suggesting more pressure from the New Jersey Fives to get to the line.
Here we go. Here we go.
Just to know your perspective on
3-2-2.
where they can create the most pressure up to this point. Plays out. This to the net.
I think Meghan dinking aggressively creates those opportunities, and then if they find a shot that sits up, try to maybe speed up from there, and maybe use drives for the third shots as well, and look for a few shake and bakes.
Oh, Frazier had one for the opening.
Second serve.
Couldn't make it. Second serve, second try to tie it. We've been stuck at 2-3 now for what feels like 10 minutes.
2-3-2.
I know, but if your opponents are dinking well, it's difficult to create pressure.
Zane pulls it, and some indecision on whether or not that ball was in or out.
I didn't hear it. After review, the call on the court stands. The ball is out. New Jersey Fives lose another free challenge. They have 1 remaining. Orlando, you have 2 free video challenges remaining. We resume play at 3-3-2.
3-3-2 now. Frazier looking to build. And he'll get a missed return. For the first time, the squeeze leading in this match, I believe, across
4-3-2.
3.5 games so far. Nice drop. Parker falls it in. It's wide. And that's a beautiful setup from Dylan Frazier. Cross court, drops it into the backhand side to Zane Navratil.
5-3-2.
That one's out too, and New Jersey sliding out of this one, the squeeze. Fives played last year with a chip on their shoulder. Many didn't even think they would get to the final. They did. They fell short, but they feel like maybe it's better that they didn't win the title, so they didn't have a target on their back this season. Motivates them. Meanwhile, motivated Meghan Dizon in the cross-court dink exchange after the end change and after trailing by 3 ahead of the break.
3-6-1. Second serve.
Uncharacteristic miss by Zane. At the highest level, you rarely see people miss dinks wide. You basically dinking into 3 really big
3-6-2.
targets on the court. 1 of the middle, 2 of them the middle of each half. And you stay high percentage.
Nice, Samantha Parker hanging right in there with Meghan Dizon. Causing a bit of distance in the scoreline.
Point.
Dylan with an elite shoulder fake. Shows his speed up and then slides that ball
7-3-1.
inside out behind Zane.
Dizon off the line right now, which is causing the hesitation that Leigh Waters has been speaking of. What a rally for the squeeze. Make it 8-3-1. Parker and
Leigh Waters, and I think based on the situation and the type of players on the court, it's a very appropriate advice. So the team is down, they need to create some chaos.
What would that look like? Like, how do you create chaos? What does that mean?
Well,
8-3-2.
I think it depends if they're receiving, like they're right now. We talked about returning to Dylan, potentially letting that ball bounce and having it come up instead of volleying the forced shot. And then Zane can kind of tee off with his forehand.
Zane Navratil buries it at the feet of Samantha Parker. What a run for Orlando. Ball back to the New Jersey Fives. We'll see what they do with the advice of Leigh Waters.
3-9-1.
Yeah, here they could use the serve to create a better third shot and maybe hit some drives and crash behind it.
Point.
Taking a page from the women's doubles playbook. Only one bounce before the third shot allowed.
4-9-1. Second serve.
A couple of uncharacteristic mistakes from Navratil.
Take advantage. Come on.
That risk
4-9-2.
was approved by the coach.
Side out.
Side out for the squeeze, looking to go up game point.
Second
Hang
serve.
on for one for the Fives. Samantha Parker loads up 9-4-2.
9-4-2.
Drop shot. Frazier's on it. Navratil goes through the middle, and it's high, and Frazier clobbers it. Game point for the squeeze.
Working like a dream in doubles communication.
10-4-2.
Frazier goes body on Navratil, and he one-ups him the other way. Side out, 1 game point saved. We'll see what fight is left for the Fives. We've already collected 3 standing points with a regulation win. They are just
4-10-1.
urging their mixed doubles team to get the sweep.
Point.
A drive, it was high. Parker throws it into the net.
Also, matches like this matter for individual player standings, who are also
Yes.
seeking to win the MVP award at the end of the year.
Who's your guess at who's on top right now,
Second
player
serve.
standings-wise?
I'm gonna say Georgia Johnson.
You're right,
5-10-2.
12-0, unbeaten. We'll see Georgia Johnson out next, playing for the Dallas Flash. Okay, here come the Fives. Scoreboard pressure starts after this point, or 2 points?
10-8.
Okay,
Timeout, Orlando
twice.
squeeze.
Timeout
6-10-2.
taken. Those are the words of the 5-time MLP champ, Irina Tereshchenko. Easy for you, anyway.
Depends on the
Time
day.
in. 6-10-2.
Okay, and another.
Point.
The Fives climbing back in. They trailed 10-3. That's 4 straight.
7-10-2.
Too much for Navratil. A couple of missed serves in this game for Navratil. It's a spicy server. I love the fight of the Fives, though. I mean, they've already won the match, and their bench is chipping in as much as they can, trying to will these two to victory.
10-7-1.
It's third for Parker. Second serve, game point number 3.
I think that's also part of the expectation of playing on the same team with Anna Leigh. You know, She comes out on the court
Point
and competes hard in
game,
every match.
11-7, Orlando.
And a missed return is where this game 4 will end, but New Jersey still pulls out a regulation win and 3 points. We'll be right back to speak with Annalie Waters and Will Howells on what. We welcome you back to Major League Pickleball Austin, day 3, and New Jersey comes away with a regulation win and 3 standing points, which means they leapfrog Dallas for now in the standings, but that will come to a head tonight. We welcome Annalie Waters and Will Howells to the broadcast now. Annalie, let's talk about these mixed doubles pairings and matchups for today. Leigh said that it was a team-led decision, what you guys felt most confident in. Usually you and Will are the closers for this team. Why did you feel most confident going up against their best mixed doubles team in Orlando?
I wouldn't say most confident. I felt like last night Will and I were like, we'd play either team. I felt comfortable playing both teams, and I think Zane was just kind of like, hey, I think if we put you guys up against Fed and Lacy, we have a chance at winning all 4 matches versus it would be tougher usually for Meg and Zane to play the #1 team. So I think we just kind of wanted to give ourselves the best shot at winning all 4 because we wanted a regulation win, like you said, 3 points here. So Will and I were just like, all right, we'll go up against Fed and Lacy, and I think we're playing the Johnsons tonight. So we're playing both #1 teams today, which I'm excited for. Give us a new look. But yeah, I was just glad the men won theirs so we didn't have to go to a dream breaker.
Love it, makes sense. And Will, last year you were inspired by Annalie Waters' ability to attack off the bounce, and you implemented that into your game last year. What's inspiring you this year, playing alongside your young 18-year-old mentor?
Yeah, just the competitive spirit. You know, she gives 110% every time she steps on the court, as does the whole team. So it's an awesome team effort, and it's been really fun so far.
And Annalie, you referenced it, big rivalry match ahead tonight, a rematch of last year's final. You know how well both teams travel with their fans. What's jumping out to you about the matchup tonight? What's fueling your excitement for this one?
It'll be the first time we played Dallas since the finals, so I think that's the main thing. I think our team's just super stoked to get to play them today. I know Dallas has been playing really well, but so have we, so I'm hoping we can give them a good match and hopefully take that one. We're in their hometown, so I'm sure the fans are probably going to be more Dallas, but I'm excited to see some 5s out there, and yeah, just hoping for the best, hoping we play our best, but I think the main thing is we're just going to go out there, like Will said, give it our best, and what happens, happens.
All right, New Jersey 5 fans, give it up for Annalie Waters and Will Howells. A regulation win, count it, towards the standings. We're going to step aside for just a moment. When we return, we will plug the Dallas Flash.